We all have our morning routines, and even though our early morning rituals might be different, the one constant throughout the world for millions of people is morning coffee. We are headed to Brooklyn in search of the perfect cup of morning coffee and hopefully to get an education of how the coffee bean comes off the tree and into your cup. We're going to head out to Tobey's Estate Cafe where we'll hopefully get an education and a really good cup of coffee. But while we're on our way, let's take a look at how coffee was actually discovered. The story goes like this. Back in 850 AD, a farmer in Ethiopia noticed that his goats were more lively after eating cherries off a certain tree. The farmer tried the cherries himself, and he too had more energy. But it wasn't until about 200 years later that surrounding countries like Arabia and Italy started to process the cherries. And around 1550 AD, the first known coffee houses opened in Constantinople. And that takes us to today, where an Australian coffee company made its way all the way around the world to open its first coffee house in Brooklyn, New York.
How you doing?
In this location here, we are able to showcase the coffee, and it's a full coffee immersion experience in here. You really do get the whole sensation to almost promote the theatre of coffee.
With the advent of a variety of specialty coffee shops in America, outlets like Tobey's have become more readily accessible to the coffee consumer, providing a variety of blends and some history that has raised the consumer's expectations over the past decade.
Specialty coffee has expanded at an alarming rate, which is fantastic, I think, for coffee drinkers. And I think Americans are demanding a better cup of coffee now.
So here's how the process works. Coffee cherries usually contain 2 coffee beans. The cherries are picked and harvested in places like Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Asia, and the east coast of Africa. The cherry is depulped to expose the bean, and then goes through a wet process of watering the seed before drying, or straight to the drying process. Each process determines the sweetness and strength of the coffee bean. The beans are bagged in burlap sacks and shipped all over the world.
Sourcing the best green beans available is the key to this business in specialty coffee.
But what makes Tobey's Cafe a little different is that the coffee beans are roasted right on the premise by a head roaster.
Almost 30 pounds.
Tobey's has only been open about a month, but by the looks of it, they're on to something. With a diverse crowd of professionals, freelance artists, and families soaking up the cafe's experience and ambiance.
It's like, oh, you know, what are you doing? Oh, I'm the songwriter. Oh, I'm the guitar player. Oh, I play fiddle. You know what I mean? They're just all there.
Artists.
Yeah, they're there to share, I don't know, the creative energy that's in the place.
And that's what this has, creative energy.
Yeah, totally. On the weekends, we're a different crowd altogether. The Brooklyn demographic is like an interesting one, like filled with artists and things like that, but also it has an influx of a lot of Manhattan people that just want to decompress a little bit. Upper West Siders coming all the way from the Upper West Side just to have our coffee.
It's really nice here. Like the design is beautiful, the architecture is really nice, and the finishes are really beautiful what they did.
I actually find myself here maybe 2 or 3 times a day because I go off, do my errands, come back, and I can get a lot of work done here.
We're just adding the final touches really to the coffee. It's had such a long journey before it's arrived here on our bar and within the cup.
So we've achieved our mission, because right now at 1:45, this is the freshest coffee in all of New York City. Oh, thank you very much. So there you have it. From seed to cup, the freshest coffee in New York.